need to let go of who you were in order to become who you want. Let me repeat that. You need to let go of who you were in order to become who you want. You need to stop clinging on to your past mistakes. Okay, we all have made mistakes, we all have done embarrassing things, we've all tried something that we really wanted to and failed. But if you cling on to that, you won't become the person who you want to be. Okay, you need to focus on things that you can actually change. Your past is gone, your past is done and dusted. Who you are matters more than who you were. Okay, if you are someone who used to be a horrible person, or you used to be selfish, whatever it is, and now in the present you're actually trying to see that, okay, I was a horrible person back then, you will start improving, you will start working on yourself, because the future you does not want to be selfish, the future you does not want to be called a horrible person, because that matters more than your past. Understood? Now, let me give an example. If you're someone who's been abroad, okay, and you've always wanted to settle abroad, and when you went abroad back then, you didn't land a job, or you didn't get the permanent residency, you didn't get the citizenship, and you had to come back to your home country, and you want to try that again. Okay, and it's been what, 6-7 years since that event happened, and you want to try that out again. But if you cling on to that past thing that, I have tried it before, it just didn't work out for me, that's why I'm not going to try it again, you won't be able to become who you want to be. And in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I always wanted to live abroad, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you are someone who's already done these things and you failed, and you're clinging on to that, you won't be able to become the person who you want to be. I hope I'm making sense. And you need to understand that the person who went abroad a few years back is not the same person who's going abroad now. That person had a different mindset, had different values, was a different person back then, and now you have a different mindset, you are a different person. You worked on your mindset, you are a completely different person to who you were back then. So you should definitely try going abroad, right? Because you're a completely different person. Just because you made mistakes in the past, that doesn't mean you're going to make the same mistakes again. And you need to make sure you're not making the same mistakes again. Because if you go back and you do the same mistakes that you did back then, you are just, you've not changed at all, right? You need to constantly work on yourself so that you make sure that you're not repeating the same mistakes you did back then, right? And you need to understand that the probability of you making the same mistake again is very, very low, because we are constantly changing ourselves, we're constantly working on things. We're not the same person who we were a couple of years back. We're constantly changing. Situations, events completely mold us into the person we are today, and that is not the same person who was before all the event happened, before the situation happened. So you completely need to let go of that identity of, or Jaina abhi gayi, or you need to let completely let go of who you were, what you've done, because because it's in the past, right? It is completely gone. Okay, it is completely, it's in the past, right? It's completely gone, it's in the past. Okay, whatever you do, you cannot change your past, so why are you still clinging on to that identity? Okay, why are you still clinging on to that? Let go of it, it's in the past, you cannot change it. The only thing you can change is your future, by working on your present self, by working on yourself now. You can completely change your future, right? Because future is what matters, not the past. It's gone, it's done, and it's dusted. If you think, okay, back then I made these mistakes, and now that I'm doing it again, I want to be successful in it, take out a notebook, take a pen, write down everything you did, and why you did it, and what characteristics were associated with that mistake, and then continuously work on it till you attempt to do the next thing. okay, till you attempt to do that thing again. Okay, so you need to let go. If you want to be someone, if you want to be really really successful in life, you will have to completely let go of who you were, of your unsuccessful identity. You need to let go of that. Okay, you need to be someone you've never been. You have to be someone you've never been if you want to achieve something that you've never achieved in your life. If you are someone who wants to achieve, who wants to become filthy rich, who wants to start a business, you need to let go of certain things, right? In order to be a successful entrepreneur, in order to have a successful business, in order to be in the top 1%, you think the current you, do you actually think the current you has the ability to become, to reach the top 1%? No. You'll have to completely work on yourself, work on that mindset, work on your identity, work on how you dress, how you talk, how you walk. There are so many things that you will have to work on in order to reach that level. It's not just making money, it is also working on your personality, because making money is easy, right? People are making money, but if you want to be in the top 1%, you will have to hang out with those people, you will have to network. If you go to an event, you will have to learn how to sell your business, you will have to learn how to talk highly about your business. There are many many things that come into play, right? It's not just you making ample amount of money, it's about the person you become while you're making ample amount of money. Because once you're in the top 1%, it's really hard to change yourself, because you have the money, you have the power, you have the network. It's really hard to change yourself. So always focus on the process more than the destination. Okay, if you are someone who wants to land a role in your dream company, right, focus on the process of landing the role in your big company. Work on the skills, work on building your CV, speak to recruiters, speak to people who work there. You'll have to continuously work, you'll have to put yourself out there if you want to work in your dream company. It's not just going to be handed to you, okay, you know what, you're working on yourself, let me just give it to you. No. Universe rewards people who are putting in the efforts. It does not reward people who are just the way they are, they're not putting in any efforts. Okay, let us be honest here. If you work hard, you will get everything. If you don't, you're not going to get anything. Manifestation, I've heard people say that, I'm just going to manifest it. No, manifestation is not magic. It's not just going to give you everything that you wanted just because you deserve it. No, you have to, work for it. You'll have to put in the efforts. You'll have to be highly, highly deserving of it. Then only the universe will reward you. Okay, if you want, go on to Google and look at people who've done amazing things, who've reached the top 1%, who are self made. Look up to their stories. If you want, go on Instagram. There are many successful people there, right? And look up to them. If you think you trust, I don't trust people who, they show a flashy lifestyle on Instagram. I don't trust them. But if you're someone who has someone you look up to, look onto their story. If you want, message them, speak to them, ask them if they can share their story with us. But you will have to put yourself out there if you want to build a successful life. And success can mean different to everyone. Let me just say it again. Okay, success looks different on everyone. Your definition of success can be different to your mother's definition of success. So don't think someone is not successful because they are not matching that level of success that you, they are not matching your definition of success, right? Some people's idea of, sorry, I have a cold. Some people's idea of being successful is having a family, some is, having a business, some is just having a good high paying job. It will look different on everyone. So do not call someone unsuccessful just because they are not meeting your definition of success. Okay, so you need to completely let go of who you were in order to become who you want. Okay, if you are someone who wants an abundant lifestyle, you want things to come to you randomly, you want an abundant lifestyle, you will have to be in that mindset, right? If you're someone who's constantly cribbing, oh, good things never happen to me, why do I have to go through all this, that, you think abundance, you think you're gonna have an abundant lifestyle? No, you're not going to have an abundant lifestyle, because you're constantly thinking negatively about you and your life, and that is not gonna help you in any way. So the person you want to be in the future, focus on that. Look at, if you want, write down all the qualities the future version of you has. All the qualities. She's calm, she's nurturing, she doesn't stress herself, whatever. Write everything down and look at it in a present view. Okay, look at it and then say, okay, right now I don't think I'm calm. I'm very really really short tempered. Right now I'm not speaking positively. I do not love myself. I hate my body. Start working on those things, and once you start working on those things, you will be able to be your future self, and then you will attract these opportunities, because you will be holding yourself to a really high standard. You won't be settling for less because you know what you have to give, right? So you won't be settling for less. If you are trying to you're looking for investors in your business and they're offering you a less investment compared to what you think your investment deserves, do not settle for that. If you know that your business has this much to offer, I'm sorry, I just don't know any business terms here, but if you know your business has this much to offer, you believe in your business, look for an investor that is ready to invest the amount that you are looking for. Do not settle for less. Do not be with people who are not matching your mindset, who's not matching your thought level, who's not matching your goals and dreams. Instead, hang out with people who make you feel better, who wants to be successful just like you, who are like ambitious. Stop settling for less. You want a life that big. You want a very big life for yourself, but you are literally settling for a mediocre life. You are literally settling for a job that you don't like. You are settling for friends just because you don't want to be alone. You are settling for things that you actually do not want. And then you want an abundant lifestyle. How is that going to happen? An abundant lifestyle, or your dream lifestyle. Do you think you will achieve your dream lifestyle by doing things you don't like? No, that's not going to happen. Abundant lifestyle is where you are actually happy with yourself. You are actually working on the things that you see a future in, that you see, okay, I'll be able to go long term. um, I'll be able to do this. I see a future in it. You have to believe in yourself, right? Stop settling for mediocrity when you know you are meant for abundance. Stop settling for mediocrity when you know you're meant for abundance. Stop accepting breadcrumbs when you know you are deserving of something. And this I mean in every sector of your life, not just relationships. I mean every sector of your life. Stop settling for less. If you know you're deserving of something and you believe in yourself, you know you're deserving of something, do not settle for less. That's all I have to say. And I'm sorry for my runny nose. I'm really, really sick. So please excuse all the mess that's happening here. I'm really sorry. But yeah, this is what I have to say. Do not settle for less. Okay? So I hope you like this video. I made this video very, very short, so that you can watch it and it helps your attention span as well. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.